In this video, we're going to talk about proportions and cross multiplying. So two quantities are proportional if they have a constant ratio or rate. So they give some examples of ratios and rates, but here's a real example of proportion. Proportion means we're comparing two rates and two ratios, and if they are equal, if they're the same, then that is a proportional rate or ratio. So, for instance, in a recent survey, 7 in 10 in a class, 21 out of 30 students believe that climate change is happening. So, these are proportional. And the reason they're proportional is I can look at these two fractions. When we're looking at rates and ratios earlier, I could see that they have scaled by 3, right? They multiplied by 3 on top and bottom. They're the same. So I know these two fractions are in fact the same, but cross multiplying is a technique that allows us to solve for things when we're not sure what values, or maybe one of the values are in fact missing. So cross product means that we are multiplying, cross multiplying means that we are multiplying the diagonals. In this case, we multiply 7 times 30 and 10 times 21. So the first thing they ask is confirm that the cross products above are equal. And if I multiply 7 times 30, sorry, that 7's a little sad looking, 7 times 30, and compare that to 21 times 10, 7 times 30 is 210, 21 times 10 is 210. Boom, they're equal. So yes, it is proportional. Those cross products are equal. So here's where it's more exciting. It's when we don't know one of the values. So if 7 in 10 students believe that climate change is happening, LCC, this is Lane Community College, let's see how many of those students then would believe climate change is happening. So they created an equation based on the 7 out of 10 and compared it to the 26,000 students that attend Lane Community College. Okay, so cross multiply this equation. So 7 times 26,000. And the other one is 10 times x, which I'll just have to write 10x. Okay, so 7 times 26,000. Let me do that in my calculator. That comes out to 182,000. All right. And they're like, so divide both sides to finish solving for the missing value x, because in other words, we're looking at a little equation here, a simple algebra equation. So to solve for x, we'll divide both sides by 10. So here, let me rewrite it because we don't have space. And divide by 10, divide by 10. So that comes out to 18,200. So that's how many students we'd expect to believe that climate change is happening at Lane Community College. Okay, so 24% of the US population today are children. There are 74.2 million children in the US today. How many people are in the US? Okay, so 24% of the population is children. That means we can write a percent as a fraction, 24 out of 100. And we'll compare that to, so they want to figure out how many children there are. So we know there's we know how many children there are. There's 74.2 million children. And what we don't know is how many that's out of. That's what we're trying to find. That's how many people are in the US. So this cross multiplication, I would do 24 times x and 100, excuse me, times 74.2. That's going to come out to did I do that right? 7420? Yes, I did. Okay. Now to solve it, I'm going to divide both sides by 24 to solve for x. And grabbing my calculator. Sorry. I'm getting x equals 3. So I'm getting a decimal. And since we're talking about people, I'll go ahead and write 309.2. That's rounding to the 10th place because they used a decimal as well. So that's 309.2 million. So population of the US is about 309.2 million people. And there we go.